We are back on the Retro Cartoon Rewatch with your boys, Damien G and Hokage22. Continuing on our venture into Dragon Ball Z Abridged, we are up to season 3. In case you are just joining, go back on my YouTube, Damien G Show. And if you want to catch up on old episodes, because I just left them as raw streams, and Team 4-Star has not, I repeat, has not filed copyright claims. So thank you, Team 4-Star. And just so you know, for you, Hokage, we're gaining traction on YouTube.
Hey, let's go.
We went from, we started off single digits, then we went like low teens, and the last stream was at 103. So we are slowly building up speed, slowly.
We're getting there.
Like so, building up speed. But for those who are new here, typically I used to take cartoons from the 70s to the 2000s. I used to watch them back in real time with all of you, and I would let you know whether or not they suck. But the last, couple months, Hokage and I myself have been going down the rabbit hole of Dragon Ball Z Abridged by the legendary Team 4-Star. Dare I say, the grandfathers or the fathers of parody anime. The grandfathers being My Way Entertainment. Fathers being Dragon Ball Z Abridged Team 4-Star. So where we left off, I believe it was the androids trying to find, they mollywopped everybody. They dog-wopped everyone, except absolutely. Krillin got laid, air quotes, in his mind. The cute one. And the team is moving Goku from his house to, of all places, Kame House.
The second place that they would literally check after Goku's house.
Yeah. So it's a cat and mouse game that, how do I say this nicely, could have been solved in about 35 seconds, but because anime, you got to stretch it out for about 7 episodes because, oh shit, that's a good point. Oh shit, I just dawned on me. The androids never make it to Goku, spoilers, because they get eaten by fucking Cell. They never make it to Goku.
Nope. They never see Goku.
They never see him until the Tournament of Power, apparently. Oh no, till Android 18 sees him during the Buu Saga, and Android 17 sees him in Super.
That is correct.
That is correct. So, cat and mouse game that if you watched last episode, Piccolo and Kami haven't merged yet. Just a lot of And then Nail just mentions, did anyone else see the really big tone shift that's happening right now?
Yeah, the immense tone shift that is, like we gushed about it in the last stream, really well directed and well written.
Correct.
Even though it's already a part of the original show, Team 4-Star just took it and just made it better, just by
that much better,
a little bit more.
Made it that much better. But you ready? Because without further ado, let's watch us some DBZA. Whoop. Hold on. Oh, that's why I have it. I gotta do this part. Sorry, y'all. I just got off of streaming a program for Big Gold Belt Media, your one-stop shop for all things entertainment. So I raced to this stream because I forgot we were supposed to stream today. So that's on me. And I already see in the comments section before we even start. I haven't even looked at the bubble yet. I already know in this little comments bubble up here who it's going to be when I open it up. Yeah, man, listen. You know what time it is. You want to explain what this is to the new audience members?
For people who are now tuning in, Wade Ilson, who Damien likes to say is a part of the furniture of the show, what he likes to do is that once we tune into the stream, he likes to rush in, drop his dad jokes, and then rush out like a pro wrestler.
He does the run in, drops his jokes, stays backstage in the background to make random commentary. But that is Wade's contribution to the show. He is Captain Dad Joke. We've gotten a couple of the jokes before he even said the punchline, so we're getting better at reading his jokes. But even still, his game and aim is to make us smile and laugh. Our aim is to just say, ugh.
I think I Wade, I know you're listening. I hope that you can top your best one, which if you didn't watch some of the previous streams, the best dad joke that he dropped was related to Dragon Ball Z. And the joke was, what do you call an episode or a fight that Yamcha wins? You call it a filler episode.
That was pretty good, actually. Yeah. I forgot he said filler, not non-canon. But yeah, filler. Anything that Yamcha does after Dragon Ball that has him in any positive light, it's not filler. Because remember, back in season 2, where the Z Warriors went to King Kai's planet and they trained, right? They fought the Ginyu Force on King Kai's planet. And Yamcha was hemming up Raccoon, I believe. And what happened? Not canon. Not canon.
But in Team 4 Stars version, King Kai whipped the Ginyu Force's ass.
Yes, because we didn't allow Yamcha to speak for like 10 episodes because they didn't have a voice actor.
Yeah. And I believe that makes way more sense than a bunch of Earthlings who could barely even stand up to Cybermen could kick the Ginyu Force's ass.
There was I read somewhere there was a canonical explanation as to the manga that they did train with King Kai, that they did learn not the spirit bomb per se, but they did similar to what Goku did to train for the gravity and this, that, and the third. And they might have learned different techniques, which that may not be canon, but they did go through some semblance of training on King Kai's planet. They did catch bubbles. I know Gregory is not canon. So, I mean, Tien told a joke, so that's got to be worth something. You know, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune fish. But yeah. Wade. Oh, it's super cheesy. Great. Okay, here it goes.
Let's go.
All right. Go ahead, Wade. We waiting. We will not start the show before you tell your dad joke. So, all that to say, kids, as much as if you've watched the beginning of this stream of when we started this, I was a Yamcha stan from when I was a kid, right? Because I watched the original Dragon Ball at some points, and I said, oh, that dude looks pretty cool. He's a bandit. He's got some scars. Until we get to the World Martial Art tournaments, and he's the butt of the tournament arc jokes, which would then continue on to Dragon Ball Z, where he is now the butt of every joke. And he is a meme. He is an anime meme. You know how in anime they have the Akira, the Akira motorcycle slide?
Yeah, that's a trend. Homage? Yes.
He has spawned a trend of people being in that position, fetal position, like he was in that crater, to the point where if you saw the first trailer for the new Superman film, Superman is in the Yamcha pose in a crater in the Arctic. James Gunn has a sense of humor.
He watches anime. He's a big fucking nerd, and he's got a sense of humor.
Oh, here we go. Wade goes. Okay, here it goes. I love new words. Okay. And I really love the word plethora. Do you know what the word plethora means?
It means a lot.
Okay. And that is the punchline. It means a lot to me.
Oh man, Wade, you reminded me of another dad joke that I have. just as stupid. I'm not
Go
going to
ahead.
share it. All right, fine. I'll share it. Fine. All right. So, Damien,
Yes.
how many bones are in a hand?
The one you're using to watch porn with?
No,
Oh,
a handful. I told you it was just as stupid.
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT are
I'm
all
out.
owned by Funimation, Toei Animation, Fuji TV, and Akira Toriyama.
Oh,
Please support the official
wait, we
release.
made him walk off.
This is the best you've got.
That is our
Oh,
top of the line.
18,
How do
that
you
is
like
not your
it?
best look.
Like is a strong word. So let's tolerate. Hate's actually looking a little weak right now.
Oh, but
I'm glad you agree.
look like
That
the most beautiful
design
rose in the
is
rose
just-
garden. I'm sure if I came home with you, my daddy might even love me again.
And that is my cue to leave. Later,
Damn.
cowboy.
Sweetheart, you gotta pay for those. Cash or credit. The register's on the inside. You are getting into your car. You are driving away, and I have been robbed. You blind bimbo, you get back here this instant. Oh, no, 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 no.
Ruh-roh. Have you recovered, sir?
No.
All right, we should be getting close to the site.
Mr. Trunks,
What's up?
if you don't mind me asking, you know me in the future, right?
Yeah, actually, you were my mentor.
Oh, wow. What does adult me like?
Well, I suppose you take a lot after your father.
In what
In what
regard?
regard?
What
You're
way?
the strongest, bravest warrior on the planet.
Okay,
Oh.
good. By the way, why do you keep staring at my arm?
Oh, hey, what's that?
Oh,
I love a mystery.
Well, this definitely looks like my time machine, but it also looks like it's been here for
Oh,
ages.
Wade wanted us to know he
Ooh, a
switched over to
mystery.
YouTube.
I never get to solve mysteries. Like Sherlock Holmes or Batman. Usually we're just busy finding people. Like Bruce Lee or Batman.
Batman.
It's funny how he brings up both,
look,
and they
look.
both work.
Here.
Oh, good.
I just love how Trunks is looking like, really, Mom? Why are you here? Why are you here? It's funny because Trunks is such a mama's boy, right? In his timeline, he's such a mama's boy. But when he gets to this timeline, and we know why he doesn't really like this version of his mother, but
Yeah.
more annoyed every time she pops up, like randomly. That's how you know he's Vegeta's kid, because Vegeta would say, and now the woman's here. What are you doing here? So now Trunks is kind of taking on that mantle to say, hi, Mom. Why are you here?
Well, it's more of just that awkward, just like space because of how their first interaction went.
Correct. Because she tried to bang her son.
Ugh. Gross.
Now, for all you freaks out there, we don't mean it in an Oedipal way, like they knew. Obviously, Trunks came from the past or the future to come back to the past, and Bulma had not given birth to him yet, or even was impregnated with him yet. So she basically just hit on a mama's boy, air quotes, and then she goes, I'll be your mommy. And he's just screaming internally, just screaming.
Ah!
Fun fact, and I think you might know this. In the Kai abridged version, the part where that happens, and then Trunks goes, "You must be stopped."
You need to be stopped.
It's actually voiced not by Kaiser, but by Eric Vale.
But do you know why they did that?
No.
So, I think that episode of the Kais was just released around the same time that Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighters,
Yeah.
was starting to be like mainstream. And what Trunks' level 3 in fighters is that he grabs you, tosses you up in the air, and does the heat dome attack that he does, spoilers, against Cell whenever he goes back to his own timeline. But every time that you do the level 3, he screams out, "You need to be stopped." And every single Trunks main at that time always spammed a level 3. So that's why they used Eric Vale's "You need to be stopped" there, because it fit well.
Okay, so I was under the impression that Vale actually submitted the voice samples to them directly and said, "Sure, I'm in this." Sort of like that DJ that may or may not have been Chris Sabat singing "Cat Loves Food" last episode in the background.
And real quick, I don't know if you were listening while you walked off, but in the scene where 18 is trying on the country outfit, which looks horrible, DJ Six the Dillionaire is singing an extended version of the country "Cat Loves Food."
Yeah, and DJ Sexcadillionaire may or may not be Chris Sabat. It's been confirmed. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
It has been officially unofficial that it may or may not be him.
Wade saying, "Glad I got D to laugh. It's been a rough week." Yeah. So pardon us for about 10 seconds of sports takes.
Go ahead.
I'm a New Yorker. I just happen to live in Dallas. Wade is originally from Jersey, but he happens to live in Florida. And we are Knicks fans. Born and bred New York Knicks fans. We're very passionate sports fans. Oh, by the way, we're Knicks fans and we're Mets fans, which are two of the most longest suffering sports franchises in terms of if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And the Knicks were predicted by many a person to beat the Indiana Pacers in no more than 6 games. Somewhere along the lines, Indiana did not get that memo. And the Knicks are now down 3-1. Game 5 is a do or die tomorrow. And Wade and I, we usually text. And then one of the last things Wade or I says to each other in our text about the game is "fuck" or "motherfucker" or any semblance of cursing at the New York Knicks. So it's been a rough week for us. A rough week.
And I may not be a sports person or a sports fan. The only team that I loosely watch is the Dallas Stars. But Mets and Knicks, lock the fuck in.
We're used to this by now, especially as Mets fans. So for those that don't know, the New York Knicks have not won a title since either me or Wade have been alive. Since before that. None of us were alive. Shoo. 2 of my 3 older brothers were alive, but one wasn't. That tells you right there how long it's been since the New York Knicks won a motherfucking NBA title. And I know this is a cartoon stream, and we're going to get this out of the way. They've been to two finals in my lifetime. One they lost heartbreakingly to the Houston Rockets in 1994 in 7 games because much beloved Nick John Starks decided to have the worst game of his career in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and the Knicks lost because he shot not hard, not like a bad under 45%, not even 30%. My man shot 2 for 18.
Ugh. Like I said, I'm not a sports fan, and I can tell that that's just horrible.
Yep, see? Yep, so used to this. We are so used to this. So tomorrow, you know this. I don't stream on days when the Knicks are playing. I may not be in the greatest of moods if we stream on Friday if the Knicks have lost. Or the next time I stream and the Knicks have been eliminated, I may not be in a good mood depending on how long in between streams it is. So just a warning to all the people out there. Hey, Marino, what's going on? Good to see you. Always good to have you popping up in here. Let's fucking go. For For those that don't know, like Marino just joining. By the way, Marino also is from New York. I know him well. Dragon Ball Z Abridged continues, sir. Season 3. Androids looking for Goku. Vegeta, broken arm. And now we discover the tone shift.
Hey there, Gohan. And son.
Mother.
So, is that your time machine?
Well, it looks like mine, but it can't be.
So do you want to explain why he looked at her all bashfully, like we said earlier?
Yeah. So for those who are tuning in, the reason why Trunks is very embarrassed and is very bashful around his mom right now is because when he first showed up in this timeline, Bulma, half a beer in, mind you, hit on Trunks, who is his mother.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
solicited his soon-to-be son.
Yeah,
for sex.
she solicited her soon-to-be son, which is made fun of by Krillin, I believe, a couple of episodes ago.
Mhm.
Yeah. Marino goes, haha, bad mom or baddie mom.
Eh,
In this
Oh.
case, bad mom. In
Yes,
terms
in
of
this
how
case.
she deals with Vegeta, if you watch Daima, baddie mom.
Yes.
And because she keeps spoilers for those who don't watch Super or Daima, apparently, Bulma has been gathering the Dragon Balls for the most superficial reason ever. Even before when the series started in Dragon Ball, she wanted to get the Dragon Balls to get a boyfriend. That's selfish way back in the OG Dragon Ball. Sure. Cosmetic surgery. In Super, she gathers the Dragon Balls constantly because she has the radar for cosmetic surgery from the dragon. Make me look 10 years younger, take a couple of inches off my stomach, make my butt a little firmer. Shenron, I'm sorry. Humans are dumb. And if you've watched Daima, you've come to realize the realization that Vegeta on the surface would not be a loving husband, you would think, especially when we're introduced to him in this series, or season 3, I should say, as he relates to Bulma. But apparently, he softened his stance, or what I would like to say, character development, and what some other people would say on the internet, he's become a cuck. I don't think people know what the word cuck means when they use that, because we find out that Bulma and Vegeta play the rubber ducky game while in the bath together. And Bulma says, if you don't get your ass down here and stop fighting, because you're going to get yourself killed, I will never take a bath with you ever again. And the prince of all two Saiyans, or 2.5.
3.5.
3.5 count, well, 3.25 if you count Pan. Yeah, the prince of all Saiyans just says, sure, okay, I'll stop right there. He literally zoom. I have never seen Vegeta zoom out of a fight before. That was the first time I've seen him zoom out of a fight.
It is a first, and it's played for jokes. And for people who are calling him a cuck, I say, fuck you. Brother, he is winning. He came to Earth, tried to conquer, realized he failed, came back, stole Yamcha's girl, got her pregnant, married her, and now just lives at the richest person's place for free and doesn't have to do a damn thing.
So I will counter, and Reno says Vegeta knows what it is. Of course he does. It's referenced in the Boo Bits. He goes, why would I fight weaklings? I'm already rich and I'm like the second strongest person on the planet. So why would I bother? So I will counter and say he didn't steal her from Bulma. He didn't steal her from Yamcha. Apparently, according to canon, they had broken up, but he was still living there. So
but
he didn't really steal her, but he was living there. And I guess somewhere along the lines, well, we find out how it happened, but canonically, we don't know how it happened. So yeah. So now the team has now found allegedly Trunks' time machine. But dun dun dun, there's a mystery.
Be mine. This one here is the one I used to travel back in time with. If you'll notice, it has the word hope written on the side. So unless this one has it written in the same place,
Oh, crap baskets.
crap baskets.
Oh, you
Oh,
see that
you see
too.
that too.
Wait, why hope?
Because you called me our last hope.
Holy crap, that's so cheesy. What? Do I have like a ton of cats too?
Hey, anyone else notice the hole on the top?
Huh, weird. Do you think whoever was piloting it was attacked?
Actually, I don't think so. Considering the curvature of the melted glass.
That's funny. That's funny. Vegeta's like, nah, Yamcha, you're not a Z fighter anymore. Go play baseball. And he does. And spoilers for those who have watched or have not watched the Dragon Ball shorts about Yamcha's baseball career.
Which, if you
Um,
haven't, you should. They're
Go
really
watch
good.
that. Yamcha gets a win. So in the Team 4-star logic, he's gotten a win. Spoilers, but he never has to play baseball ever again because he's fucking rich. Rich.
And to be fair, he's really good. Outside of just because he's training, he cheats because he
Yes.
uses his spirit ball technique on the baseball.
Which we see in Dragon Ball Super in a filler episode. His Wolf Fang pitch energy ball, whatever. Like, yeah. Oh, and in Dragon Ball Super, they call back to the meme.
They do.
He won the game, but they come
But at
back
what
to the
cost?
meme. But at what cost? And there's a line there when you go back and watch it. It's a filler episode, so it's not canonical. But if you go back and watch it, when he says out loud, now's the perfect chance to steal, the rumor is Vegeta, he responds, steal what? He thinks he's talking about Bulma. Because Vegeta doesn't know baseball etiquette. So he doesn't know what stealing is in baseball. So for him, steal what means he's trying to steal Bulma. That's why he gets annoyed.
I
think
never
it
would have thought
tracks.
about that.
I think it tracks.
I think so.
Because if you watch the whole episode, they literally have to teach everybody how to play baseball, except for the humans.
Well, no, because even Krillin doesn't fully understand how to play.
But he's not playing in the game, though. He's
Yeah, he
he's
is.
in the stands. No, he's in the stands.
But he was a part of the team.
I never saw him taking that bat at all in that episode. So yeah. But anyway, Gohan's about to go all Scooby-Doo on this shit right now.
Actually, I don't think so. Considering the curvature of the melted glass, combined with the lack of any glass or damage in the cockpit, we're safe to assume whatever shot the canopy came from the inside.
Nerd. By the way, why is his arms deformed like that?
Just a really bad shot for him.
And his fingers. Look at the little finger here.
Just
See,
yeah.
these are things that Hokage and I pay attention to. It's like, why do you have an arm indentation like that? It looks like you're doing like a puppet impersonation with your arm indent. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is that? SMH, the Z fighters have no life. So it makes sense. They don't. They have zero life. Zero. Nerd Gohan.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You could make this is getting more granular and more into like super shit.
Yeah.
But you could say that Krillin is the only Z fighter that has a life because he has a family and he's a cop. So he has an actual day job.
Well, no. When we get to Super, Gohan also has a job. He's a scholar.
That's right.
He's
And
an entomologist.
And he also has a family. So
Has
then
a
that's
family.
two. That's two Z fighters that actually have a life. Everybody else either training or doing nothing.
Yeah. Because, well, no, in Super, everybody has a job apparently, because Tien has a job now too. He runs a dojo. But if we're talking just strictly Z, yeah, nobody has a life.
Oh yeah, strictly Z, nobody does. But if we're
No one
going
has
into
life.
super territory, then
No.
yes. And I'm not going to make the argument for Goku and Vegeta because they're both Saiyans. All they ever want to do is train. And even though Goku has a job as a farmer, he still wants to train.
Correct.
Yes, wait, he does have little peewee arms.
Gohan, baby arms, Rodriguez. Gohan. He's never beaten those allegations ever.
Nope.
No, but they don't know. They don't have a life. They stand around watching people power up and then get dog walked, which they do that a lot. And the only person that has any kind of money is Bulma, because she's not a fighter. So she has time to dedicate to her science, and her dad is a scientist, a billionaire, playboy, racist, philanthropist, who is growing moms in the basement, apparently, according to the TFS lore. But
because he refuses to let his wife age.
I mean, look at the time frame he's from.
Yeah. Anyway, let's watch the show.
Let's watch the show.
And what does that tell us?
That the glass came from the inside.
Here.
Nerd.
Huh. So, any idea what these are?
So me, being who I am,
Mhm.
would be like, that's a bra.
Just
Yep, a bra of a very heavy-chested individual, because you put the lime in the coconut and drink them
both up.
Because that also looks like a coconut shell, like a alien coconut shell. You put the lime in there and you drink them both up. And if you don't know what that reference is, go back and watch the Frieza arc.
Oh, I think I kicked an alien that looked like that once.
Hey,
You
let me
did?
get a look at it. I want to help.
Wait, what?
It was because of the way that the actual egg looks like, because it's purple and it's got spikes all over it. It's a small reference to him.
Icarus.
No, not Icarus. Dodoria.
Oh, haha. See, I would have thought Icarus because it's his shade of purple.
But then you make the connection that he kicked Icarus. He
Yes.
wouldn't do that.
Goku
Everybody
would.
else would, but not Gohan.
Goku wants to eat Icarus.
Exactly.
Or in the Japanese version, Haya Dragon, which sure.
Help too. As the daughter of the world's leading class scientist with doctorates in both bioengineering and evolutionary biology, I can only deduce that this is a mutant coconut. Either that or
You put the lime in it and drink them
and
both.
drink them both up.
an egg.
An egg? I know. Trunks. Whatever made that.
I love the theme song in the background, like it's like NCIS, like they're breaking down the mystery with the dramatic music.
I'm
Dun,
pretty
dun.
sure that they said in the commentaries, because they made the Sherlock Holmes and Batman
Yes.
joke, that the
Yeah.
theme is playing is from Sherlock, the
Yes.
BBC TV series.
I did hear
So-
that, yes.
Hole hatched from this egg. You keep examining the time machine. I'm gonna go search for clues.
Well, at least one of us is having fun with this. Two of us.
Huh.
And then they flew off. God only knows where they are now.
See, here they made Krillin hella jacked. Look at him, bam. He's got I jerk off with both hands arms, like bam. Like look at them forearms, bro. He got some Popeye forearms going on right now.
God damn.
Thanks for letting us keep Goku here.
Where do you stay? I've asked this question before. Where in Kame House does he stay? How many rooms does Kame House have?
Don't they just have two?
The one, right? Where Roshi sleeps and where the guest sleeps. He has a guest room because that's where Launch used to sleep with Goku and Krillin in the bed.
Yeah. So there's two rooms,
Two.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Because so then what? Never mind. Just keep going, Damon. Shut up. Just shut up. We're gonna get way too bogged down.
Here, by the way.
Yeah, that's nice. So there's a hot one now.
Oh, yeah, like you wouldn't believe. Her eyes are this beautiful, piercing blue. Her confidence is stunning. And she does this adorable little thing with her hair where she brushes it out of the way.
Fantastic. How's the rack?
All my advanced degrees, tons of academic accolades, schooling.
It's an egg.
It's an egg. Roshi has Depression era arm strength.
He's not wrong whenever he's just
not wrong.
chilling.
He's not
But
wrong.
he does have a really badass looking full power form.
He's also 300 years old.
Just how old are you?
And we find out that Master Roshi isn't his name. You think Roshi's my real name?
Master Roshi, Goku sweating purple. Is that normal?
Did he eat grapes?
I don't know.
That boy can't handle his grapes. Speaking of fruit, what are we talking here? Apples, oranges, melons?
Is that really important?
Yes.
So you see Master Roshi here, right? I was just reminded of something.
Uh-huh.
Have you played not King of Fighters, Fatal Fury?
No, I have not.
Okay. I want you somewhere along the lines to look up Master Tung, T-U-N-G, Tung Fu Ru. That game came out after this originally aired in the 80s. I think there's a copyright law there.
Uh-oh. Oh my god. Because of his green tank top?
Right down to the form he takes when he powers up.
Ooh. And you said that this game came out before Dragon Ball.
No, Dragon Ball came out before the game.
Oh yeah, that would have been a lawsuit.
I don't know how it wasn't. They both wear green. They both have the same look. They both swole up to power up and look like a monstrous, just ginormous creature. And then they shrink back to this because they're like 300 years old. And they both taught the main character in the story. Master Tung taught Terry Bogard, and Master Roshi taught Goku.
Maybe the creator of Fatal Fury just really liked Dragon Ball and just wanted to take some
wouldn't be surprised.
inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration, more like plagiarism, but sure. Okay.
Oh, hello. And what are you? Hey, Trunks, I think I found a clue. Either that or a record-setting cicada. I'm okay with both, actually.
What is with that running animation? What is
He
with
is-
that running animation?
He is hustling so hard and making no ground.
Either that or a record-setting cicada.
He's running in place.
He's pulling a Tom Cruise. Because we mentioned it, we are not going to let this joke down. So, I'm going to let everybody in on the joke. So, I'm pretty sure it's already a like standstill meme at this point.
Yes,
But-
probably is.
The reason why we bring it up is because we recently both got a screening to see Mission Impossible: The Fatal, or not the Fatal,
Final Reckoning.
the Final Reckoning, the Final Destination. Because, oh my god! But in almost every single action movie, including this one that Tom Cruise is starring in, he always does that full like fucking sprint in a tuxedo and dress shoes, and you're thinking, why isn't he using some other mode of transportation to get to his destination faster?
It's because he runs like Quicksilver, apparently.
It's a dumbest thing ever.
You put loafers on Tom Cruise, and he's the fastest man alive. For whatever reason, that man was sprinting all throughout every single Mission Impossible movie. But Ethan Hunt apparently has super speed. Tom is just getting his steps in at a fast rate, at a very fast rate. And running is tough, especially when you, I don't know, fly.
When you can literally just take out all of the physical work and just float.
Literally, you could just jump in one bound to get where you need to go, like fucking old school Superman in the 40s. Leaps tall
Yes.
buildings in a single bound. But no, running
You
is
got
hard
muscle.
for the Z fighters. Not even running. Logical thought for anyone associated with the Dragon Ball Z universe, aside from maybe Piccolo, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Man, I just have like a bunch of like ADHD rabbit holes that I want to get into, but I'm not going to because we need to watch the show.
Right. Well, we gotta get through the episode first.
I'm okay with both, actually.
Still not getting anywhere, Trunks.
Ah!
Oh my god, is that thing alive?
No, pretty sure that this is just a mold.
Something crawled out of that?
Hey, if you guys don't want it, mind if I take it home with me?
Whatever
What?
was in here might just be the creature that came out of that ship. Oh no. Oh, really wish I hadn't.
Considering
it's
how
all over
fresh
my
this
hand.
mold is, it's likely that whatever
God,
shed
it's
its skin
sticky.
did so very recently,
Yeah, now
meaning
it's
that it
starting to
might very
harden.
well
Oh,
still
no.
be here.
Trunks, it was good to see you again. And go on, say hello to your mother. I'll call you later, okay? Bye.
Do you hear Trunks in the background talking about, oh no, it's hardening. Oh no.
Oh, no, it's hardening. Oh no.
Long shot, but you wouldn't happen to carry hand sanitizer on you, would you?
Do you
Do you
not?
not?
Ew, 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 ew. Ew.
Wait a minute. So I have a response to that. She goes, ew. But it's them calling her. She's the one that makes the ringtones for the receiving of the call. So why is she going ew when they're playing Pretty Fly for a White Guy when she's the one that's receiving the call?
I think she put it there as a joke a long time ago. And because she hates how disgusting Master Roshi is, whenever she hears that now, she's like, ew.
But also, point of contention, Pretty Fly for a White Guy. Who's white in the Dragon Ball Z universe?
Everyone.
No one. They're all Asian,
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
except Chaozu. Well, no, Chaozu apparently is based on a Chinese demon. But everyone is Asian in Dragon Ball of the main characters, except for Bulma. Yamcha, Asian. Tien, Asian. Chaozu, Asian. Vegeta, Asian. Goku,
No.
Asian.
They're aliens, though.
Animated to look Asian. I'm talking about animation wise.
Fair.
Krillin. Monk, Asian monk. So who's the white guy? Oh yeah, Piccolo isn't, but he's black. So he ain't white neither. He's Blasian.
He absolutely is.
Piccolo's Blasian. Let's be real here. Let's not even try to be like, oh, PC about it. People have correlated Piccolo to be black because he's the only different one amongst everybody else. So what does that make him in modern society? The outcast. In the normal society, what does that make you in this country? A person of color. You are a minority. So Piccolo is a minority, and by internet logic, he must be black.
It also doesn't help
Oh.
that he also ore farms like crazy.
No. No, we're not touching that, but there is a battle against that too. He just happens to be dark skinned, but he's not black.
very dark skinned.
To the point where they had to change his skin tone
In Kai.
to make it look purplish, like they did for what we find out is his booty call, the Pokemon Jinx. They made Jinx, instead of black-faced, blue-faced or purple-faced. So he's not black per se. He just has a black face.
To quote Fidel in the Boobits, oh my god, are you allowed?
Are you allowed?
What?
So you guys are by Gingertown, right?
We were. Why?
Because there is some major shit going on down there.
Shit of what variety exactly?
Kevin Garnett / Wesley Snipes complexion. He dark.
Well, thank you, Flash. What's the situation down there?
Mass unadulterated panic, Cal. Just moments ago, screams erupted throughout the streets only to be followed by deafening silence. Now there seems to be nothing left but a ghost town, littered with the clothes of its former inhabitants. We have yet to find out the reason why.
Do you have any
We're about to find
speculation,
out.
Flash?
Well, Hal, I cannot say for certain. However, recreational marijuana use was recently legalized in the region. So I believe we can all come to the same conclusion. Just a moment. Someone is approaching.
So that's a joke also going back to the beginning of this season, where the joke is South City, or 9 miles south of South City. The town is used as a prostitution hub. So the joke is, so what do people do here?
Apparently prostitution is legal.
They do the prostitutes. Thank you, Piccolo. Thank you. So again, we have prostitution, we have marijuana patches, and now we have legalized weed. And also the president or the king in this universe is a dog. Is a dog. And the richest man in the world, aside from Dr. Briefs, is a wannabe fighter / pro wrestler and / con man in Mr. Satan.
Yeah. Also, after we let this scene play out, I want to talk about this.
Excuse me, you terrified looking gentlemen. What are your opinions on the legalization of... Oh my God!
Wow, someone should probably go check that out.
Yeah, my stash is running.
He is smoking weed right now.
Master
Right
Roshi
here.
he is always high, and we love
A
it.
little low.
Hey guys, we're back. What's that smell? Is there a skunk in here?
Oh, Gohan, you're so pure.
So innocent.
So what was the thing you want to say?
So, to kind of go back to our previous topic that we talked about the previous stream, whenever
Yeah.
Kami and Piccolo were arguing about fusing, we had a huge tone shift. This is where we see, like, outside of just like the foreshadowing, this is where we see it.
Yes.
Because we get the hint of like, oh, why is there a second time machine? Why is this here and why is it destroyed? Why is there this huge mold of a giant cicada-looking bug?
Right.
And then we cut to a news broadcast of a town that used to be full of people and is now a ghost town with clothes. And you see the news people like talking about it, be like, we don't know what the fuck happened, and they're playing jokes about it. And then you see a shadowy figure come up from wherever they are filming, cut to static, and then just cut to the camera still filming live on the ground. That is really good directing of what is to be like a super hype moment coming up whenever we get the
And
introduction.
you hear the slurp noises.
Yes. So you know, or you don't know exactly, but you have an idea of what is happening, and it is disgusting and atrocious in the best possible way.
This is what they would deem body horror.
Yes.
Because there's people are being slurped up and not in a pleasant way. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Gohan, you like mysteries?
Do I?
Gohan.
It's not on screen, Damien.
My bad. I get confused sometimes because I usually don't shrink it, but this time I got shrunk.
Okay, so you felt that one, right?
I did.
And you're still just going to put this off?
I might.
All right, I've had enough of this. I have literally been sitting here meditating, meditating
Sleeping.
for the last 3 hours. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Popo.
Mr. Popo.
3 hours. So either shit or get in my body.
Hey yo, pause.
No.
Listen, I still need to feel the situation out.
What the hell is there left to feel out? Between your cryptic warnings and jerking me around, I'm pretty sure an entire city is either missing or dead. You're the Guardian. Start acting like it.
Yes, I am the Guardian of this planet. And you wish to take that title from me?
Are you kidding me? This can't be about the job.
I love this for some reason, this interaction between the two of them, it's a lot deeper than just they used to hate each other. Because remember, genetically, they are the same person. They're just two psychological different halves, right? That's what was told to us. One's supposedly evil and one's supposedly good. But when we get to this argument, I would dare say the roles have shifted, because if you don't believe in God, if you're an atheist, some people have said God doesn't exist, because if he did, why would he allow all these atrocities to happen? Right? So right now, in a sense, Kami, aka God, is the bad guy in this situation, because he's so prideful, he doesn't want to give up the job.
Well, okay, in that sense, yes, it makes total sense. But whenever we let this scene play out, the reason why is because he refuses to merge with Piccolo because he remembers the pain and torture that King Demon Piccolo caused. So it's rightful for him to be upset. But the whole reason why this was filmed and like directed this way was because they needed a reason for why Kami, the Guardian of Earth, did step up to the fucking plate to stop this from happening. And it's written so well.
So in other words, they took what could have been the legit reason is because God doesn't listen to you and didn't want to piss off a certain fan base and said, you know what? We're going to throw the wrinkle in that it's because they used to be together and King Piccolo did some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. But I do love the switch in dynamic, though, that on the surface, Piccolo's like, look, would we ever have thought, going all the way back to the first episode of Dragon Ball Z or the last arc of Dragon Ball, that this version of King Piccolo, this reincarnated version, would care so much about the planet that he's telling God, bro, we need to do something. The fuck you doing?
You're the Guardian. Start acting like it.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
The first chance you had to drop this gig, you tried to hand it off to Goku. Goku!
See?
He doesn't even
Logical.
look after his own kid. I look after his kid more than
Logical.
he does.
But it's still my job, my responsibility.
And that's really good and all. But if you don't fuse with me, the entire world you're guarding might be destroyed.
Maybe I'd rather it be destroyed than ever have to be a part of you again.
There it is.
Mom, Dad, please stop fighting.
So that's what this is all about, huh?
No, that's not what I...
No, it's fine. I was kind of a dick. I get that.
Listen, Piccolo. I've been the Guardian for over 300 years. I've seen wars, sickness, death, and work.
I love the violin in the background here. I
Because
love that.
It's a very somber and sad idea of
Monologue.
what Kami. Yeah, it's a sad monologue that Kami's giving of like, I have seen the best and worst of this entire planet and of humans. And I've done my best to like coax them into a way to where it's somewhat civilized between everybody. And even then, my job here isn't done. And now I'm being told to lay down my job and be merged with my other half that I absolutely despise.
That I had to give up to get this job in the first place.
Yes. And I forget the voice actor's name, but he goes by shit. I forget his name. Weekly Tube Show. Weekly Tube Show. That's his YouTube handle.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, he is such a good voice actor because you could feel like the depression, the sorrow, and like a little bit of the guilt in his voice. It's so good.
It's good. And as a correlation, here's another dad joke. Not by Wade. This is by Reno.
Uh-oh.
They have to update their dynamic. Their dynamic is a little off. Yes. Ha ha ha. Jesus Christ.
That's 3 tonight. Let's go.
I get that. Listen, Piccolo. I've been the Guardian for over 300 years. I've seen wars, sickness, death, and worse. All the while trapped on this lookout, unable to interact with the outside world for more than moments at a time. Now the only chance I have left is giving up my free will to someone else. It's just another prison.
Gee, never mind. You know what? Shut up, David. I'm not even going to go into that because we'll be here for an hour. Never mind. Because I think you know how I feel about self-autonomy and giving up. Oh, yeah, no. It's kind of ironic asking God to give up yourself, but never mind.
Yeah.
Woo.
Wow, I didn't. It's fine. I'm done anyway. You're right. If I don't do this now, we are likely to lose everything. But know this, Piccolo. Once I fuse with you, the Dragon Balls will be no more.
Ah, that's not a problem. We've got a whole planet of our people just waiting to make us more.
What do you mean, our people?
Stop being a smartass and let's
What do you mean, our people?
just do this already.
Well then, Mr. Popo, I suppose this is goodbye. It's been a trip.
Yes!
Well,
So the funny part about this is that the what do you call it? The Funimation version, or the canonical version of this, Popo's distraught.
Absolutely.
He is distraught when this is happening. He's begging him not to go because that's his ride or die. You know what I mean? That's his assistant, his number two, almost, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like saying, bro, no, don't leave me here. And Popo, for all intents and purposes, canonically, is feeling betrayed and abandoned just so Kami can merge with Piccolo. But in this one, it's like, it's played off as hey, I'm high, but I'm still feeling feels because, it's Kami. But it's played more melodramatically, canonically, than in this version.
And real quick, I'm gonna quickly touch on this. So I don't remember what the actual scream was like whenever Piccolo and Kami fused, but in the Ocean dub, the voice actor for Kami, whenever he's screaming for merge, whenever they're trying to merge, I don't know how his vocal cords have not broken after doing that scream, because it's like banshee levels of like high pitched screaming. It is intense.
Look up who it is. I need the Mr. Popo true Hollywood story. I would love a Popo documentary about his time on the lookout, all the drugs he's taken, all the jinxes he smashed. I would, and he grows fucking drugs at the lookout. Oh my God. Team 4-star. Make this happen. Give me a E Hollywood story, or in this case, Z Hollywood story, on Mr. Popo's life at the lookout.
I would love that.
I would love that.
So I've looked it up. The voice actor for Ocean dub is Mike Shepard.
Never heard of him. That was going to be Scott McNeil.
Yeah.
Sure, you're already familiar with the technique.
Right.
All right, now. Lower.
Yeah, not falling for that.
I didn't think so.
Oh my god, I'm coming down!
And Popo mentions he's coming off the high. So
Ooh, that was crazy. So did you actually eat Kami, or was that the acid?
So this is who we were, huh? Hello? Got real quiet. Holy crap, are they finally... Of course not. Isn't this the part where you chant to yourself? Shut up.
Come now. We should do whatever feels right.
Oh, please no. You can win. You feel great. You can do this.
Hey, Piccolo, could you pick up Yajirobe? He doesn't have a... Ah, crap. Well, I know someone who's not getting invited to Sunday brunch. Though, who am I kidding? We like him.
he's
Everybody likes
God.
Piccolo.
Well, only one thing to do.
Yep, we need that. We need that Hollywood story on Popo. I don't know if we have to sign a petition for Team 4-Star. I don't know if we have to send them an email directly. I don't know if they got to have a GoFundMe for it or some sort of Kickstarter. I will contribute to that.
Team
I
4-Star. Make it happen.
I need this. I need a Hollywood story spoof on Mr. Popo talking about life on the lookout. Please. If anyone's watching this, get us in touch with Team 4-Star now. Now. Plus, hire us.
Gonna shout racism over this one.
We're based in Dallas. Hire us.
We're not that far from the Austin location. Please,
We are not that far.
hire us.
This is just what happens when you elect a dog.
So I just want to point out again, they made Yoshi back here looking yoked. Yamcha's okay, but they didn't do him as dirty as they did Gohan earlier with his saggy little like baby arms.
Yeah, baby arms. Me.
Baby arms. And why is Krillin so close to the motherfucking TV?
Move your head. Get away from the goddamn TV. You'll rot your brain that way, Krillin.
And also, spoilers for people who have seen DBZA. If Roshi has enough money for a submarine, why does he have this kind of television?
Yeah, why doesn't he get like a plasma inch?
High def, so he could see his little workout shows in high definition.
Well, in this version, that's a good question. But in canon, I don't know.
Yeah, well, canonically, because they didn't have flat screens when this came out in the 80s. So, yeah. We were still rocking the shit. I remember the last big box TV CRT. Well, wasn't even a CRT. It was one of those first waves before it transitioned into flat screens where you had HDMI or not 1080p, but you know what I mean by 720. Yes. But in a big ass stereo television that looked like a flat screen in the front, but the back had this ginormous like backside like popping out of it.
And it was fucking like a giant refrigerator was connected to a TV.
Brother, when I tell you, when my dad had to move, we tried to pick all that up, me and my brothers, 4 of us. And we're not weak. Bruh, we're not weak. Because you know I'm in the gym putting up weight. My brothers are 6'4", 260 pounds. Bruh, we couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't. There was no amount of friends pivoting we could have done to have gotten this TV, not even off the ground, but down the stairs, because my dad didn't live in an apartment that had an elevator.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now you're making me reminisce of my childhood. So for those who don't know, I'm 24, so I was born in 2000. So I I don't know any of like the 90s or 80s like waves and like that nostalgia, but I know a little bit of it.
It's true. If it ain't broke, don't
Don't
fix it.
fix it.
Pivot. Exactly.
Pivot. But growing up, we still didn't have like huge plasma inch TVs just yet. We were on the verge. We were very close. I had a few box TVs growing up. My first one that I ever had was probably about the same size as my laptop. It was tiny, and the screen was like half the size of my laptop. And then the next TV that I got, I honestly thought was like cool as shit. It was a little bit bigger, but the speakers were actually on the TV, and you had to fold them to open up the TV, and the speakers would play through that.
Wow.
And then, of course, I got an actual like bigger box TV, and I had a whole setup. And even though those things are a piece of shit nowadays, I still kind of miss those because it's just the nostalgia feel.
I do. Well, before you were born, then let's go all the way back there real quick before we end the episode. I remember Sega made a TV tuner for your Game Gear.
Oh, wow.
And I know there were portable TVs to hook up your Nintendo or your Genesis to way back then. It's like you carried them like a little fucking mini stereo, right? So we went from mini TVs, right? Or like those closed captioning televisions that were like 4x4 to flat screens. Now, before you were born, no, actually, I went to college before you were born. So I had an RCA. Those who are old enough know RCA. A little lunchbox computer television that I had to hook up with the RF switch, no UAV wires, right, to play my fucking PS1 at college. And when I tell you, I got clowned every day for having that little ass TV, but you know what? It didn't die. I had that shit for a decade, and it worked. It was great. It put all my old systems on it. If I could find that RCA television CRT again, I would have it just to use my old school systems on it.
Hell yeah.
And then, see, my TV was so big, it could crush a small child. Exactly.
They could.
My TV was more TV than screen. That's what the old big CRTs were. Marino knows. They were just big. And the speakers were on the bottom, but it was wide. So
you had a decent amount of sound like headed your direction while you were watching TV on this shit.
Correct. Matter of fact, while this is playing, I'm gonna go look for the Sharp television.
We just gone complete nostalgia now.
Came from that egg trunks?
Definitely. This isn't the work of the androids, that's for sure.
Not unless they're starting the world's first mandatory nudist colony.
I'm going to go down there and check it out myself. I'll admit, after everything that's happened, I'm a little bit worried I'm responsible for these events.
Wait, are you sure you should go alone?
The only other person strong enough to help us right now would be my father. And even if I knew where he was, which I don't, I'm not sure he would help us.
No, you see, I didn't up. I just underestimated her. I went in a little too overconfident. But of course I was a little overconfident. I mean, have you ever met me?
I'm me.
I'm a big deal.
Self-aware.
You know who's really at fault here? The boy. Oh, the future is so bad. Well, maybe it wouldn't be if you weren't such a pansy ass. Now, once I get back in the game and destroy those metal brats, there'll be nothing left to get in my way.
Well, this is classic. The moment God disappears, suddenly the rapture happens.
Yes, the irony is not lost.
Is very.
Could you guys stop talking for a minute? Oh yeah, don't want to distract you. Might get hit by one of these abandoned cars.
I've always wanted to drive a car, but by the time they were invented, eyes weren't so good for it anymore. Piccolo, you've driven a car, right? How was it?
Wait, seriously, shut up. What is that?
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him 2 lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over.
Hello.
Hello,
Friend.
friend.
Tone shift.
Huge tone shift, and it's so good.
Tone shift. I'm actually looking for this fucking TV now. So before we log off, I have to fucking find this TV. I think this is it, or at least a version of it. Hold on. I'm going to share this visual. Hold on. Yeah, it's something like this, but it was a lot bigger, but same model, just wider. So this was the base model. Hold on. Share screen. There we go. And that.
Wow.
Bigger than this, but similar, all like Marino said, more TV than actual screen.
You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure my grandparents still have that kind of TV
My
in
uncle still has
their
that.
room.
Mm-hmm.
They have a widescreen in the family room. Thank God. But I'm pretty sure they still have that kind of TV in their own room, so they can fall asleep watching the news or whatever the fuck they watch in their room.
No
I find that
fucking
very
way.
hilarious.
It's
What?
$55 on fucking eBay. Are you serious right now?
I mean, to be fair, who's gonna ask for that kind of TV nowadays?
It's fucking $100 on fucking eBay. Are you fucking kidding me right now? That cost my dad, I know it was $500 minimum for that TV. Oh, it also had a DVD player and VHS in it. Because back in the day, we had to have them both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was also my first flat screen TV. It was a 32-inch. I remember like it was yesterday. It was 2008. I was so excited. I finally could afford, because I had my own money, I could finally afford to buy my shit on my own without any assistance from my family. I bought my first flat screen, 32 inches, LCD, 720. I thought I was balling back in 2008, right? And it had a DVD and CD and a VHS player all wrapped in one. And when I told you, this is how appreciative I was. I was so thankful. And yeah, I thought I was the shit for like 5 minutes. Brother, I got drunk and celebrated having this TV to the point where, because you know how I grew up,
Oh, yeah.
poor, broke, homeless, all that shit. I grew up the way I did. And I was so thankful while drunk, I broke into tears because I finally felt like I was no longer considered poor because I could afford this flat screen TV. So that's
Fair
how
and valid.
happy I was in 2008. Now, you know this. I have a TV over here in my bedroom. I only use it to try systems out to see if they work. I have not turned on my TV for anything else other than to try out a video game in years. And I've had this TV at 3 different apartments over the last 4 years. Not even more than 10 times I've turned this TV on.
God damn.
Not even more than 10 times. But anyway, hope y'all enjoy that little foray down memory lane of TVs and Atari, the Child Crusher 4000, as Marino says. Could multi-purpose as a heater as well.
Yeah.
Shit. I remember, and before we log on, I'll say this. Like you were talking about your grandparents had this big ass TV with the legs probably that could.
Oh, yes.
these were like the first color TVs, right? But they were as big as a fucking movie screen as far as width is concerned, like the girth, pause, of this fucking thing for a little bitty screen. But it looked like a fucking transformer, like Metroplex. Goes back to like the 60s. And my uncle, I shit you not, before he passed, he still had it. And but he used it as like a fucking shelf. He never turned it on because we actually had better TVs. He just used it as a shelf because he refused to get rid of it. He put a fucking doily on top of it, put photos on it, used it as a shelf. Why do old people do that? Why do they do that? They, instead of throwing things out, like I'm looking over here, like my dad's over here. Why do y'all not throw stuff out? And you repurpose it to be a table.
Like, well, what's his name? Reno? Or what's his name?
Yeah.
The guy who kissed Pavilion. Like you said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But that's the thing, it broke. But he's using it as a shelf.
They
A
found
very
a different purpose
expensive
for
shelf.
it. They found a different purpose for it.
That's like when you go to your grandparents' house and they still got plastic on the furniture.
Thankfully, my grandparents don't do that, but I get it. It's
I've thought about
stupid.
it. I really thought about it. Because based on the shenanigans I've probably gotten into on my couch over the years, it might be beneficial to put that on my felt couch. Just say.
A little bit.
And just so you know, bro, even though you've slept on the couch, I've disinfected it numerous times. I've carpet cleaned it. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't sleeping no fermented juices or anything like that. I have cleaned it multiple times.
Thank
So
you
we
for
good.
letting me know.
Yeah. But I don't know. Now I don't want you thinking like if you have to crash here, you're gonna be like, wonder if Demon fucked on this. God damn it.
Well, I probably will inevitably have to be crashing on it this weekend.
Yes. Oh, yes. By the way, Wade, if you're still here, confirmed, I am taking Hokage to his first wrestling show ever. And if you're a wrestling fan, you follow the indies, the main event has Miyu Yamashita from Tokyo Joshi Pro, who has been seen all over the world, Impact, AEW, where have you. Obviously, because
Yes.
me and partially my people. I have a propensity to date Asian girls that over the last like 7 years. So yeah, we're going. So you're going to your first wrestling show.
And I can't fucking wait.
You can't wait. And we're gonna pregame because it's BYOB. We're gonna pregame on hard alcohol, and then we're probably gonna bring like a fucking 12-pack to the
Of
fucking
Modelos.
show of Modelo and drink that at the wrestling show because it's gonna be the shit. It's either gonna be super shitty or it's going to be the shit. So prepare for next week for us to talk about that on air while we keep doing this thing
That we're doing.
for TFS. Dragon Ball Z, Team 4-Star, Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I'm Damon G. That's Hokage 22. This has been the Retro Cartoon Rewatch. Normally, we'll give you the whole spiel of where you can find us. Here's the quick one. Damon G Show, across the board. Big Go Belt Media, go watch, subscribe, like. I got some new shit on the channel. You, go.
Hokage 22 on Twitch, Hokage.22 on Instagram.
And there we have it. And we'll catch you next time on the Rewatch. Peace and be safe.